I'm my own person, and even if I agreed with what he, she, it, or they had to say, I would not bow before any god. Let's do this.
Everyone worships.
Oh, horseshit. Not everybody worships. Certainly not in the sense you mean. I don't.
Sure, not everyone wants to call it worship.
That's because it's not worship. Certainly not under the definition you use later, namely giving reverence unto Jesus, or some other religious figure if it's not your specific religion. Point is that there are multiple definitions of the word worship, and the way you're using it is certainly not something that I and many other people would ever do. Thinking something is really nifty and going, wow, I like that a lot. Well, okay, if you want to call that worship, sure, a lot of us do that. But in the sense that you use it, no. No, not everybody does that. I'm sorry, it's just not the case. And if you're going to try and insist that we do, in order to make you feel better about calling yourself a lowly peon before your imaginary sky fairy, I'm sorry, I'm just not letting you get away with it.
Everyone has some ultimate thing that they center their life around.
Maybe they do, but that's not worship. If what you center your life around happens to be, say, achieving a goal, that's not giving reverence to something, which is what worship is. Not everybody worships, pal.
Something or someone that they hope will give their life meaning or purpose.
And some people don't go looking to the outside for validation. Some people make their own purpose, their own meaning. You ever think about that?
For some, it's religion. For others, it's money. For some, it's fun. For others, it's success or power, or science or knowledge, or beauty, or popularity. For some, it's love or sex. For some, it's their family.
Now, of all the examples you just gave, for how many of them is the only evidence of their existence an old book of ancient legends? And despite that lack of evidence, how many of them demand your belief and your subservience? And if they don't get that belief and subservience, how many of them threaten you with eternal torment? Yeah, as near as I can tell, religion is the only one. Now, if you are going to try to claim that each of these is expecting the same kind of worship, no, I'm sorry, you're wrong, you're prevaricating, you're a liar. And that's why I say I don't worship, because we don't mean the same thing when we say the word worship. And also, I won't be threatened into doing it.
But the Bible says, all things were made by Jesus and for Jesus.
Good for the Bible. Now prove it. And even if it is true, Jesus got everything, I got nothing. Worship? Why would I worship? All the more reason for me to track his ass down and kick his butt so I got a slice of the pie.
This means we were created to worship, but there is only one who is really worthy of our worship.
Look, dude, being created by somebody doesn't make them worthy of our worship, or even our respect, really. Deeds, behavior, that's what makes someone worthy of our respect, or perhaps our reverence, I suppose. And if you want to call that worship, fine. But I'm not going to call myself unworthy or lower than somebody. I'm sorry, I have too much self-respect for that. Now, if you want to talk about this Jesus fellow, well, he's supposed to be God incarnate. And I've read the Bible. God's not a nice fellow. I'm not worshiping that guy ever. So, sorry, I don't worship. Not gonna happen.
That's why nothing else in this world satisfies. We keep on looking, we keep on striving, we keep on buying, but nothing delivers. Nothing brings us that deep satisfaction that we long for.
Hey, speak for yourself, Skippy. I've certainly had some great moments in life. Finishing a great piece of animation, finding me a girlfriend, getting some great rollerblading in, having a good night out at the club. Life can be wonderful, certainly satisfying. I don't need God for that.
So the irony is that when we give our lives over to worship Jesus, that's when we actually find ourselves. Everyone worships.
I'm sure it's very comforting for you to think so, but that just doesn't fit the facts. Sorry.
But we were made to worship just one.
George Lucas? Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying, may the Force be with you. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. And please visit my Zazzle store, where you'll find all kinds of BionicDance merchandise. Vote me down, and I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.